Do you guys hear an echo? Am I echoing? All right, good. All right, cool. So,
I'm hopping in my cold plunge and watching my toddler at the same time, so it might be a little chaotic on my end.
you're good,
Let
brother.
me
No
preface:
worries.
if you hear sound like someone's drowning, they're not. Dean, what did I say?
Now, the cold plunge is great. Back when I played football every day after 2 days, I would need it, or I literally wouldn't be able to survive the next day.
Yeah, it's live. So, just to bring up to you real quick, I know you generate commercial leads. Um, I've had a marketing agency for almost 13 years. That's what I did before solar. So did lead gen for you name it, the industry I was in it. So I'm very well versed in it. We were running our own commercial ads on Meta and getting a decent acquisition. But essentially, Solero, we have a bunch of sales orgs submitting deals to us, so we didn't need to run ads anymore because I mean we had 280 projects submitted in like 20 days. Um, and right now we have about 100, what is this? Probably 225 megawatts that have been submitted in the last like 3 weeks.
Wow.
So we have lots of lead flow. And what we do as a platform is we always want to offer other services to our clients for them to go generate more business because we're not personally interested in it. Um, we don't need to, but we want to do things to help support them to keep them on the platform. And we make more money doing solar than we do running an ads agency, essentially.
Right.
So that's where Solero's at. So I just want to understand how you're generating the leads. I like the fact that you don't collect income until I think what cars after the deal is funded. Is that correct?
So basically, I when I talked to Carter last time, I told him that we would basically look at the size of the budget that you guys wanted to work with, the amount of money you guys wanted to spend to acquire more leads for commercial, and then we would come up with a number that makes sense for the both of us. But yes, I'm very open to, making money on the back end, setting up everything and being like your in-house guy on the front end because I understand how big of a company you guys are. I understand how successful you guys are. I've known Carter for a while now, and I know that you guys push serious volume. So where I'm at, I'm actually looking to potentially get a position in Solero, on salary, being like your guys' full-time commercial leads expert who can basically help you with recruiting to get door knockers because building those relationships, like the face-to-face stuff is definitely way more lucrative than what I've seen with commercial than running ads. But I literally can do it all. I don't want to seem like I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm a lot like you, Chance, where I have the marketing agency. I've done it for basically every industry you can think of. But what I've noticed from the roofing and the solar standpoint to get these commercial deals, the door knockers, creating that relationship with the property managers and just the who is how we've closed the most commercial deals. So basically what I'm proposing to you guys is if you would be open to hiring me, putting me on salary, and my job basically would be a full-time, I'm in charge of getting you guys door knockers and just canvassing teams to get you commercial deals on repeat. And that salary that you guys would pay me, I would use to fund that entire operation. So how that operation would work is I would run Facebook ads to get you guys the canvassing teams. And we've seen a lot of success with that. So, I was trying to see potentially if you guys are open to that. And there's go ahead.
Yeah, we're not bringing anyone on salary. We've actually cut a lot of salaries just because we don't need them. And our ads that we're running currently are to attract sales orgs that have canvassing teams to go out and bring us a commercial deal. That's exactly how we're getting all of our deals currently. So we're already have that in play.
Okay.
We actually had to pause everything due to the influx of business and us really just trying to keep up with the demand.
Okay. So what is it
Um,
exactly that you guys need help with the most? Because like I said to Carter, like I'm willing to wait to get paid, basically. You know, utilize my strengths and abilities to set you guys up for success, and then I'll reap the benefits from when you guys close.
I mean, if you're willing to spend your own money and run campaigns and take money out of the back end, that's something that we can entertain. But for us to put investment into a different system, a different person that we've already have a stall for, like, just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? If you're
Yeah.
coming in and saying, "Hey, I want to run ads and support organizations, run ads for them," uh, there's a way to maybe potentially uh, figure something out there. But yeah, from what we're discussing now, I mean, we don't have a need for it. We've already cracked that code.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Um, so you guys have no interest at all in any residential appointments? Like I'm pretty sure Chance, me and you discussed this a couple months ago that you guys were looking to scale and we were kind of negotiating on a number for residential for your sales organizations. Cause I am open to that for the commercial side of things. Cause I know like there's big payouts, but I'm trying to get my foot in the door for Solero some way, somehow. Um, so are you potentially interested in that for any of your sales organizations, just Solera as a whole for specific states? Because I do have the call center that's doing insanely well. And, you know, obviously I can scale ads with Facebook,
What was the name of your company?
Balance Media.
Didn't we already like hire you guys on a while ago and we did something together?
No, we were very close. I X'd you. We kind of, I guess, didn't agree on a number, and we came very close to doing an order, but the we couldn't agree on a number. You know, we never did an order together. But I'm more than willing to negotiate, and I'm willing to, you know, I would just love to work for you guys. You know what I mean? Like if there's a number that makes sense for you guys, you know, I would love to be the person who gets residential or commercial leads for your sales organizations. Like if these guys already have canvassing teams, well, what if they don't? I could definitely help them get canvassing teams and help them get commercial appointments for you guys as well. Like there's a lot of ways that you know, I can help benefit you guys and you know, be very cost efficient. Like I'm definitely willing to play the waiting game.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't really see like a path forward uh, right now. If you could send me, references of clients you've worked with, like set rates, like any KPIs around your actual campaigns and what you've done. Because we've brought in other partners before and they've shit the bed and it would just look bad on us. So we have like completely stopped, referring any marketing agencies or recruiting agencies to our partners as it stands today, just because it's backfired. Um, so I mean, if you have a list of references, campaigns that have worked, like any KPIs, any numbers around that, then I'm happy to take a look at it. But just to start running it up now, like we have zero interest in putting out any capital in that direction at all right now. We actually have like a giant wait list, and we're actually on the next 2 weeks working on onboarding another like 150 organizations. So like I just There's just not a need for it, you know.
I gotcha. So there's no potential positions that you feel like my skill set could like have in Solero.
No, not internally. No.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah, we have a whole marketing team that's already doing exactly what you're talking about on the recruiting side and on the lead gen side. The thing that I thought we were going to talk about was actually doing lead generation for existing sales orgs on specifically the commercial side. We're not interested in expanding our residential business at all. It's all
Right.
if it's commercial, if it's lead gen, if it's proven, if there's a system that potentially some of our sales organizations could leverage to get commercial bookings or anything around that, then there's potentially talk there. But Solero would not be putting up any funds to support that. If that's your agency and you figure out, a deal and you have, like I said, KPIs around a campaign that works and you have great references around that, then that's something that we could entertain. But that's only really the only potential synergy I could see.
So what about the sales organizations that you guys are onboarding? Would they put up capital to get the canvassing teams to get these commercial deals? Because
like I said, we got to see some serious proof in the pudding that what you're presenting actually works. You have proven clients that have had amazing success, that have actually generated revenue. Like there's got to be some KPIs and reviews and client referrals around that before we would ever introduce you to any of our partners.
yeah, of course. No, I could definitely, put together an email with all the references that I have because, on my end, what I'm thinking is like I'm going to go into my pocket, spend to get like I'm kind of even a little unsure of like how that would even work. You would want me to like invest into one of your sales organizations potentially, hoping that they were good at closing commercial deals and then I would get a piece of that. Is that basically what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that like we as Solero would not invest into that at all. If there were partners that had a need for it,
Okay.
you would just work out a situation with them.
Okay.
And that's how that could work. When you were talking about not getting paid out until deals went to install, I was under the impression, because I've done this with other guys in Resi, where we would only pay once it went to install. So we were paying them, like 10 cents a watt on install deals, and they were okay with that all day long. So we just created a plan, and that worked out great because they were ensuring that there was quality leads. We were only sending those to our top closers, and it worked.
Right. No,
Most of you guys have been burnt in the marketing space. Not to say that you can't perform. It's just we've talked to or worked with like essentially everybody that has a name in the marketing world, and some of them have done okay, and some of them have done quite poorly. So for us to refer you to our other sales organizations, I need to see some serious proof in the pudding before we put our name out there again, because it bit us in the ass a couple of times, and I don't want to do that anymore.
I got you. Yeah, no worries at all. I mean, I can get you references today in an email, but say the references are good. You see that I've scaled multiple roofing and solar companies with commercial. How would that conversation potentially evolve? Like, say you go, all right, well, actually, this seems pretty legit. Let's just let him have a conversation with one of our sales orgs. Could I potentially get multiple sales orgs?
Depends. We'd probably start with one and see how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like one goes well. Like, what's the ceiling?
Virtual appointment or in person appointments? Like,
So
a lot of our guys want virtual.
Yeah, I mean either or. It doesn't matter. I could definitely do both. But what I've noticed for commercial, it's the canvassing teams. It's that is not dead for commercial, because when you run Facebook ads and Google ads for that, the cost per click is just so much higher because it's such a small amount of people that would potentially even be able to make that decision. You know what I mean? It's not like residential where everyone with a home that wants to cut their electric bill, like it's a completely different ball game. So ideally what I would do for, say you gave me a sales org, I would charge them to run Facebook ads to build them the best, most qualified canvassing team possible. And then from there, get them onboarded to their sales organization so that they have, commission-based commercial people, boots on the ground that are actually building real relationships, which will then lead to getting them very high commission commercial deals. That's how I've done it, and that's what I would plan on doing if you were to give me one sales org.
And then do you have any training around the canvassing side of commercial that helps these guys close at a higher rate?
Yeah, of course.
Because I know that would be a big value add, because there's a lot of these residential guys that have great canvassing teams that are wanting to get into commercial, and some of them don't really know how to tap into it. So that could be a huge value add.
Yeah. No, it's literally just stacking a skill set. That's really all it is, that's basically what I was like coming on for. I was looking for like a salary from Solero, and it would be my job to train all of your sales orgs on how to get the best possible people for their canvassing team to pitch commercial deals for roofing, solar, you name it, any sort of home improvement, because that's what I do. So it's like, I was thinking maybe you guys would pay me like 150, 200K a year, and then I would just do that, and then maybe a little commission on the side, for just deals that are coming in. That was my hope on this call, but I'm more than willing to just prove myself with one sales org, send you over some references, and then, just let the proof do the talking.
Yeah, I think we start with referrals. Then we could look at a sales organization that was willing, that wanted to do it. And we just kind of, crawl before we walk and see how that goes.
Of course.
And really that would be it. It would be an external relationship that would be between you and the sales organization. And you would just work out, what that looks like.
Okay.
And then kind of go from there.
I got you. All right. Yeah, sure. So where does that leave us from here? What would you like me to do?
Just send an email to Carter with your references, and we'll check on them, and then we'll go from there. It'll be a little slow to respond because we're all out. A lot of us are out at RC Plus this week.
Okay.
But in the next coming weeks, we could probably have another conversation once we could speak with some of the references and kind of vet it out, and then see who potentially would, out of our partners, would want to test you out, and then we would come up with more of a test campaign that wouldn't necessarily be an all-in of like what your total fee and structure would be necessarily. It'd be like, hey, let's do this at cost ad spend just to see how it pans out. If it goes well, then we can continue to scale that out to our other partners.
Okay. I think that's, more than fair. I'll get to work on, making the email like look as appealing as possible. But basically all you're going to see is like what we were able to scale to in different industries, and why that happened. Like, and it's because of the canvassing, you know what I mean? The door knocking teams and my ability to attract top tier talent through running ads. So that's what I'm going to formulate in the email. And then hopefully from there, you guys give me an opportunity with one person and let me just, pitch the idea to them. And then hopefully that over time it works, because it's not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? We're going to have to run that Facebook ads campaign, hire the people, train the people, have those people go out and then start pitching commercial deals. So the amount of time it would take.
the next question, we ran a lot of recruiting campaigns. We work with a lot of companies that have. When you're running the recruiting campaigns, do you also are you taking those introductory calls? Are you interviewing them? Are you training them and then you're placing them? Is that the whole package?
Yeah.
Okay, that definitely adds some more value as well. Because yeah, if they're ready to go, ready to be placed in the company, and they're ready to go out and close deals, then
It's huge
that
value.
that's valuable to the marketplace.
For sure, because you're basically sending a well-trained foot soldier in there to go and pitch these solar farms and these, commercial buildings, schools, you know, everything. And you could just have a team of people that are willing to work on commission, because obviously the commissions are big payouts. So, you know,
Yeah.
we would just have to discuss with the sales orgs about like what their commission structure would be. But yeah, this does kind of seem like it would be. It's not going to happen overnight. Like this is going to. If I get one sales organization, it would probably be like 2 weeks to 3 weeks before we even have the foot soldier on the ground.
Right. Which is expected, and these guys know that. And we're coming into a really perfect storm with the residential incentives going away. Like either these guys are going to be leaving the solar industry or they're going to come to commercial. Like that's kind of their fork in the road for a lot of these guys, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation out there around what's happening in the solar industry. So essentially bring these guys, train them up, get them into commercial if they're not already. There's a big opportunity there for sure. And I would love to, I'd love for you to go work with 100 of our partners and go scale them up because we all make a bunch of money on the back end, which is, the goal. So, like, I'm open to it. I just need to make sure it's going to work and that we're going to take care of our people.
Yeah, for sure. And I could do what I can to keep their cost low. You know, it's normally I charge about $5,000 retainer and then have them charge like $2,000 to the ad budget to make it happen. But up front, I can give them a huge discount. I'll take out all of my commission just to prove myself, because I understand what the what the stakes are here. This is potentially 100+ clients, like, one client, you know what I mean? So if I can prove myself to you guys, get that one client the results, then it's like the sky's the limit for me specifically. And then that,
Yeah.
So I like I told Carter, I see the value in the back end. So
Yep. So yeah, let's go with that. I got to jump, but yeah, send that over to Carter, and then we'll go from there.
okay, yeah, more than fair. Chance, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely, Nate. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Sounds good, bro.
Thanks, Nick, for joining. Happy Chance was able to join. And send me that email, and I'll get with Chance, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
I got you. Thank you so much, Carter.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, bye. Finagle.